All right, so what we're going to do is add, do you want to add the Hope line to that workstation and then add like cross-platform and
Yeah.
mickeythompson.com?
Yeah,
All
whichever
right.
one first, and then I can do the other ones outside of
Yeah.
recording.
Let's do the Hope line because that's one you work with regularly. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go to if you'll share your screen, let's go to what I would do is go to you can go to the URL that it's at because what it does is it gives you that link open up in. Yep, right there where it says code, open in GitHub desktop. Now you always have to be careful because GitHub desktop always wants to change the location sometimes.
Mm.
Why
I
didn't it
thought I
open?
had. I don't know.
It didn't pick up on it. Ah, it's got a problem. No worries. Just go ahead and reinstall it. So you want to go. Oh, it actually says download now. So it even picked up you have an old version or a. So
Oh,
don't do that one. Do the one that says download now, the green button.
oh, there we go. Okay.
So it must have gotten corrupted on your computer. Yes, you can say move and restart. GitHub has gotten really big on security lately. I guess so many people
Mm.
are starting to use it because they're vibe coding.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go see if you have the Hope line there yet already. Okay, no, you don't have it. So you can just close that. Let's go back to that website and say open in GitHub and see if it recognizes it now. You might have to hit the back arrow. There you go. This is how I open it sometimes. Oh, you're not going to
It's
open.
not. Um.
It's just they're having trouble, I guess. Also, the
Yeah.
new Safari is having trouble, or not the Safari, but the new Mac OS Tahoe.
Oh.
People are
Yeah.
complaining about it. So
Mm.
let's just add it manually. So let's do the drop down and say add, and then let's say existing repository, and then type in, or let's see. No, actually, I told you the wrong one. Hit cancel. Let's do it again. Add, I'll take my time. Let's see. Clone repository. I
Okay.
forget, add existing means um, one that's on your computer. All right, yeah, see, it's
Um.
it's the security stuff. They've gotten tighter on their security. And then you just say continue. It may tell you to, yeah, there you go. It's letting you go through. And then it's going to ask you for a passcode probably.
Yeah.
Now it's working. Open in desktop. All right, so now type in www the helpline, and then that way it lets it down. Yep, right there. And then don't hit clone yet. So do you see the default
Oh,
location?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now watch this. I want you to look at something. So do you see how it says www.thehelpline.com? Whenever
Uh-huh.
you select a new folder, I believe that will go away and it will put it in the root folder. So like just remember that. Go ahead and choose your workstation that you're going to use. This is where you just have to navigate to it. If you hit that arrow drop down, it will
Yeah.
expand it.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
Yeah, there you go. And then say select. Let's see if it puts the hope line there. Okay, yeah, it did. Okay, good. Now you can say clone. Was that the step that you were forgetting right there?
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I'll share with you my screen. Is that all you had as far as
Yeah, yeah. I think I
stuff?
kind of worked through everything else that we talked about. I just needed to get that set up so that I could then,
Nice.
yeah,
All right, I'll share with you my screen and I'll show you some stuff, just kind of what I did over the last um, day. So I'll share with you. Let's see, share. Do you see my computer? This. Why is it putting this on my screen? Okay. Still getting used. It's putting this bar on my little screen, and that bar is taking up most of my screen. Is there a way to get rid of that? I know you can't see it, can you? The bar. You can go ahead and leave yourself on unmute because it's
yeah.
not picking up any background noise. I
The
noticed
the
that,
Zoom bar.
yeah, it's that Zoom bar. Is there a way to get rid of it?
I thought you could move it to a different screen.
Yeah, I was trying. Oh, there it goes. Okay, did that time. It was hitting the boundaries. Maybe I
Oh,
had to
oh,
wait a
oh.
second. It was bouncing around the boundaries. Okay, so this is what I've done is I've opened up Crossplatform.ai desktop using what's called HMR, which is Hot Module Reload. So I kind of want to show you this. What it does is it opens so that I can do development on it. And what I wanted to show you was, for example, here's some of the code I worked on yesterday. And you'll notice this is the new, um, let's see, I'm thinking as I'm talking. Um, this is the new history section. What I'm going to end up
Mm-hmm.
doing is I'm going to merge changes and history together because I'll show you why. You were just using GitHub. And
Mm-hmm.
GitHub, this is actually, a lot of this design is based off GitHub. Do you notice that?
Uh-huh.
Repository, branch, the
Yeah.
status. So I'm gonna pull it
Uh-huh.
down, I'm gonna show you. See how it looks just like GitHub?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
GitHub, a lot of people don't know this, but GitHub Desktop is actually open source. So,
Mm.
so I'm actually, now I'm not copying their source code. I'm just basically emulating their design because I think they have good design.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm curious because I noticed that there's a pull. It looks like there's a, um, I must have. This is one of those. So you see, it's got a kind of a I think they call this a dirty pull because it's pushing and pulling at the
Oh,
same
uh-huh.
time. So what I've got to do now is figure out why that is because that's kind of interrupted my training. So what I'll do is go to the view on GitHub and I want to see, pull this down to the screen so you can see it. Okay, so let's go see what branch am I on. I'm gonna copy this branch, copy branch. I'm gonna come over here, go to branches, go to commit history. So I have preserve PBS replay checkpoint. So let me come over here and see what I have here. All right, and then let's go back over here. So what I may do, now I'll show you something that I have in cross-platform. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna come over here. This is version 1 of cross-platform. I'm gonna go over here. I have this thing called backup. So it'll take a backup of my branch. See how it names it backup feature
Mm-hmm.
add? So I think that's a cool feature. So now I'll go, let's go back to workspaces. So what I can do now is I can go ahead. I'm trying to think of what I should do. Um, 'Cause I'd hate to. I wish there was a way I could see what the difference is.
Do you want me to
Partly what I
pause the
want.
recording?
Now, let's keep showing because this is good recording, good stuff. Now, what I could do is so preserve. I'm gonna kind of go back and forth. Preserve, replay, checkpoint, persist BBS workflows, BBS migration baseline, PBS SQL foundation, cascade. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and create a new branch. I'm gonna call this I'm gonna go and say copy. So this is, I'm kind of thinking out loud here so you can see my process. I'm gonna create I'm gonna call this a delete, just to remind me this is a bad one.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say copy this branch. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And then what I'm gonna do is come back over here. I'm gonna copy this one and I'm gonna delete it. So I'm gonna delete my main one because what I wanna do, and then what I'm gonna do is get an origin, make sure I fetch origin. And then I'm going to go ahead and check this out again. So that way I have the original. Okay, so this is the
Hmm.
original. Now what I'm going to do is compare it to my delete. So if I put my cursor right here, so that's highlighted, and then I switch to my add, it will show me, okay, so that's the one. It looks like it sees that one as different. Preserve staged BBS replay checkpoint. Okay, so what I did was do you see how I edited that one? So
Hmm.
technically, I just edited it. So if I cherry pick this, you'll see that this one will come over empty. So I'm just showing you this because this is real engineering stuff. I mean, like what I'm doing here is figuring out why something doesn't look right. And
Yeah.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and replay that. Now watch, this one will be empty. Do you see how it's empty?
Yeah.
It's because I edited this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squash these two together. Let's see, which one should I keep? I should keep this. No, actually, I'm gonna keep the bottom one. I think they actually say the same thing. Yep, they do. So this is a good example of me not being 100% sure of what it was that I was overriding. So I didn't want to lose
Yeah.
good code. So I'm gonna go ahead and squash that. So now I have that. Now I go ahead, see I'm back to 4.1, so it explains why that 4.1 was dirty. Now,
Hmm.
I'll switch back over here. We have force and so does GitHub, but our force is better because what I find is GitHub doesn't always give you force. And I'll have to show you an example of that in the future, but I can go ahead and press force here. Now, what it does here is it asks you to confirm a force push. So I'll go ahead and conform a force push. There's certain things I don't like about GitHub that I'm fixing or making better in our experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did all that from the hot module reload version, which is just a local copy built from the code. I'll show you that in the future, but for right now, just know that I'm working from the local code. I'm not working from the published code. So I want to show you too. So I'm about ready to ship this code. I'm thinking I'm going to ship the code. There is a couple of features I want to add, but at the same time, I don't want to wait too long. We may do the video tomorrow of us shipping the code. I might let it sit for a little bit, but what I want to show you is in the history what I'm doing here. So do you see right here, it has this little exclamation point, like
Yeah.
caution.
Yeah.
So what that means is it doesn't like the style of this commit. And what I've done is I've built in here some algorithms that say, tell me if this commit is good. So it says shipping warning, commit body is required and should be one paragraph explaining what changed and why. And so what it's doing is it's picking up. Now I could go live with this and it'll be fine, but it's just giving me a little warning saying, this doesn't meet your standards. Now, eventually, what I want to do is build it so that you can edit your own standards in here and have your own personal standards. For
Yeah.
right now, I'm doing this company wide, so we're all using the same standards for now. So what I can do is I can actually just copy this warning right here. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna go down here to edit commit, and then I'm gonna say write with AI. And then I'm gonna paste that warning in here. And then I'm gonna say generate message. So what this is gonna do is go out, get AI, and then it's gonna rewrite it based on my standards. And
Mm.
so it just went ahead. So now I'm gonna say update, and it's gonna confirm for me, are you sure you want to update an older commit? And I'm gonna say yes. So do you see how you get more warnings than GitHub? GitHub doesn't give
Yeah.
you any warnings. Like
Yeah.
you're about to change something. All right, now you notice I have a dirty um, uh, pull and push again. That's because I rewrote history and it no longer matches the origin. So I'm gonna go ahead and say force push. I'm gonna go ahead and say confirm force push. And so all I'm doing here is I'm using but now in the future, what I wanna do is I wanna be able to pull this down and be able to say, Oh, you renamed a commit. That's
Yeah.
why. It's safe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now we may have to use AI to do that. I'm not sure. Now you'll notice like my edit, I can go ahead and hide it now. And so now if we look, everything looks good except for this temp link skills package. So do you see that right there?
Hmm.
Now, that dash dash temp dash dash is there on purpose. It's to draw my attention to this before I ship code. Now, here's a new feature we just added. So what I want to do is because it's a new feature, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go and make a backup of this because we're testing a feature in HMR, hot module reload. So we're testing in testing, so it could break. I'm gonna go back forward. Now, the problem is this is very meta because I'm testing an app that I'm building at the same time. So it's like,
Hmm.
it's very meta. I'm testing the app that's kind of building itself. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's a new feature we just added. I want to be able to drag this commit up and move it. So that's a new feature. So I'm gonna drag it up here. I want it to be the last commit or the first commit, I guess.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna drag it, and it should ask me, would you like to rewrite 12 commits? And I'm gonna say reorder. Now, the problem is, did you see it just blink? That's because I'm using HMR, so it probably, let's see, it worked, okay. So, but that blink was on purpose because um, I knew that it was going to do that because I'm testing live code while testing the
Yeah.
live code. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say push because that's actually a good, it worked. So that feature worked. So I'm gonna go ahead and say confirm push. And I'll show you where that feature is in the code. So that feature is right, if you see it before me, it's called reorder. Oh, clarify reorder confirmation. So that's actually one. Okay, we added reordering right here. So let's see, 3 days ago. And then I needed to add the confirmation. I felt like, oh, let's ask the user if they want
Yeah.
to actually move. Because what happens a lot of times, have you ever dragged something like this and you're like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to do that? Have you ever done that
What
in
did I just
GitHub?
drag and where did I drag it to?
Yeah,
I've not done it
what
in
did I just
GitHub,
do?
but
And
yeah.
GitHub is notorious for that. So what I did was I was like, you know what? Stop me. So I can go ahead and say cancel.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm documenting and writing a feature for everything I don't like about the code. Now, this is where I think you've heard of SaaS Armageddon, like software as a
Hmm.
service Armageddon
Yeah.
happening with
Hmm.
AI. That basically, like you canceling sweet process, you
Yeah.
know, it's because we can build our own stuff, and that's the revolution that's happening right now. Okay,
Yeah.
now what I want to do is explain to you this link skills package because this is very high tech. So what I'm doing is in where we write TypeScript or JavaScript. They're the same thing. TypeScript is Microsoft's version of JavaScript. It's called a superset, so they add more to JavaScript. So we rarely write pure JavaScript. We write TypeScript most of the time. So I'm going to add a repo called framework. Now I built this repo called framework because we're reusing a lot of code across multiple projects. When that happens, that's a good candidate for being packaged together and published to a repo, to a public repo. So I'm going to go and show you. It may not be. It may not even be a repo. Maybe they call it a package manager, I think is what the word is. And think of GitHub. Think of WordPress plugins. It's plugins for TypeScript and JavaScript. So here's Cross-Platform AI's organizational, and here's one that I've been working on called Skills, Cross-Platform Skills. And so I published it 9 days ago, and it is currently on version 0.0.9. And so why am I using this link right here inside cross-platform? What I'm doing is I'm testing a change to a package, and this package right here is linking to it locally on the computer. Do you see that?
Hmm.
So earlier, when you were working on your workstation, the reason I want you to have a workstation and put all your repos there, it has two benefits. The benefits are one is your AI can see all your code. So you can tell AI, hey, go look at what I did for the Hope line. Because I want to
Yeah.
do it here too and just copy
Yeah.
it. The other reason is you can write packages that your applications share and then
Yeah.
link them like this. And the reason you link them is because if you made a change and had to publish it, it'd take you like 30 minutes. And so
Right.
just use the link, edit the package, and then publish the package later and then give it a version number. And I'll show you that in the future. But for today, I don't want to go into that much detail. But I just wanted to show you this link package right here. Now I'll show you something else. We're going to change gears. So we just learned packages called npm for TypeScript and JavaScript. We store it on npmjs.org. Um, so that's packages. And then we link temporarily locally. And I call it temp because I can't go live with this because the public server will not have this package locally. So it needs to use the public one. And I'll update it before I ship. And we'll do that on another day. I just wanted to show you that. All right, so I'm going to show you commands. Now, this is a new feature in Crossplatform.ai, and it's something that I want to introduce you to. Now, you're familiar with commands because you're familiar with terminals, right? So I can go over here and say new
Yeah.
terminal, and I can say, let's do echo Kara's name. And I'm going to say start. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a terminal, and I'm going to say echo Kara. And then we're going to say enter, and that echo Kara is a command. And
Yeah.
so that's just a command. Now, in terminals, we write them out by hand. So we come over here and we say echo Mickey. Well, there's some commands that you just always want to run all the time. And so let me go over
Mm-hmm.
here and show you. For example, let's go to format. So format, this npm format colon C. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to run it. I'm going to go over here. Let's just back out of this. I'm going to do pnpm. So pnpm is a package manager that runs locally that installs packages. So you know that npm JS we just talked about?
Mm-hmm.
They have their own npm manager. I use pnpm, which is a faster package manager. So you'll see a lot of people that work with multiple apps use pnpm. Another one you'll see out there is called Bun, B-U-N. That's kind of a newer modern one. So npm is
Mm-hmm.
old. PMPM is modern. Bun is really new. And Claude
Mm.
AI just bought Bun. So they own Bun now. So they own it. So I'm going to do PMPM format. And then I'm going to do colon CI. So this command right here says use the package manager to run a script that's called format. And in that format script, I want you to run a version called CI. So that's what the colon means. It just means a separate version of the script. And so
Mm-hmm.
format means format my code in a standard, and we're using a package called Prettier to do that. Generally you name your commands, not the name of the package. You'll see some people do pnpm Prettier. Well, the problem is that command doesn't work if you change from Prettier to something else. So you kind of
Mm-hmm.
want your. I like my commands to be verbs, format, run, build, things like that. So
Yeah.
now CI means, now see if you can guess what CI means.
Is it that the CI/CD,
It is. It
the
is.
continuous it was it
Integration.
continue? Yeah, integration. That's what I was gonna
Yep.
say, but then I was
Yep.
afraid of the
Yeah.
word.
Continuous integration, continuous deployment. So this is the CI portion. And what it says is pretend that you are in a CI environment where you are deploying code and there is nothing around you. You can't change the code is locked in. So if I run this, it will go out there and check the formatting, but it's not formatting, it's just checking it. And so it can't, I do not want any code to change in the CI, so we're using CI friendly commands. And so here it says all match files use Prettier code style. So it gave me a return and said everything's good. Now here's the problem. Over here I have 27 commands, right? Do you see where it says
Yeah.
27 commands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna quiz you. You saw the 27 commands. Can you list them off for me now? No.
No.
So what I did was I built a library that saves all these commands. All right. Now I went a step further. I didn't just build a library. So, we talk about QA, quality assurance. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're shipping code, you're always doing quality assurance. Does it work? Ship it to development, ship it to staging, ship it to production. And we're doing QA the whole time. Well, what if I could come over here and I could select all the commands and have them run? That would be cool. Now I can't. I'm actually running MPR. I'm running in a a development environment. So I'm actually going to close out of this development environment. I'm going to switch over to my real, let's see, we'll switch over to the real app. This is the production version. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down. It's actually the staging version. We haven't gone live with this, so we don't have a production version. I'm going to hit this drop down. I'm going to go to cross-platform. Now, do you see that the commands are all still there? And they
Mm-hmm.
transfer. So I'm going to show you something. Now, this is a little bit inside baseball. Let me go open up my Visual Studio Code because I want to show you something. We are doing something proprietary to Crossplatform AI, and I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so you see here crossplatform.ai, and you see a folder in here called .crossplatform AI.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if I hit that, I'm going to go into Workspace. And here is where all of those commands are saved. Now, here's the cool part. You don't have to add these commands when you work on this because they're already in the repo. So what we're trying to do is put as much what we call YAML files, which are configuration files, in the repo. So I'm using this cross-platform AI folder to put it there. Now I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you this innovation. So what's cool about this is now I'm in the production, I'm in the staging environment. So that means that if I select all of these and I press start commands right there, did you see I hit that three dots?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit that three
Yeah.
dots. And another thing I can do is I can come over here and I can also hit select all and then hit run the steps. So I can do it two ways. So this is one happy path and this is another happy path. Now I'll run this one right here. Select 27 commands and watch. It will just run. And it will go through all of these. And see right here, this one was set to skip. Its first command was skip. So you'll notice that it stayed white because it's
Mm-hmm.
set to skip and it's blank.
Yeah.
The command is blank, so it skipped over it. Now, what it will do is it will go through all of these and run them. Now it's running lint. Now, here's another cool thing. I can show the output. So I can see what it's doing in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the cool part is these are all the steps that you need to do to test whether the code is working or not working. So you know how we always would have to, run it and then test it and then see if it works?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm
Yeah.
doing is building the test in the code so that it does it automatically. Now, this command right here, so now what it's doing is it's building a CLI, it's building a desktop, then it will build mobile. Actually, it will skip mobile because mobile takes forever to build. You actually don't have to build mobile very often. It's because we're using TypeScript. This is actually building the iOS and the Android version, which you only need to build once every once in a while. Um, so now it's going to TypeScript. And then here's a proprietary package that we wrote called deduper. So if we come back over here and look at, we go back to our packages, all of this is going to be open sourced. So if we go to deduper, I think I may have passed it. Where are you, deduper? Yep, right there. So here's deduper. What it does is it checks for duplicated code across platforms. AI tends to write code twice. It's called wet code. Repeat everything. Or see,
Yeah.
we write, let's see, wet. Write everything twice. So here it is. It's going through the commands. And right now, do you see how we have all green commands?
Mm-hmm.
So this code is actually really good. Now we're doing E2E, which is end-to-end testing on the web. We'll do end-to-end testing on the desktop. Then we'll do a PR preview. It will skip the update because we have that set to update. It's going to audit the code for any security risk. And the security risk we want is high or above. That means high or critical. And then, it says skip unit. Oh, that's right. I ended up breaking the unit test up into smaller unit tests. Um, and then we can also package the desktop. Now, you didn't see that. It's popping up on the screen. It's doing the test, but you can't see it. It's on my other screen. So it's running the desktop test right now. It's so fast that you can it's just going so fast. All right, so we'll let that go. But this is the first step to shipping code, is running the QA test. Now, eventually, what I want to do is have the AI run the QA. Now, did you see audit
Yeah.
failed? Did you see audit
Uh-huh.
failed?
Yeah.
All right, so what we can do is we can go over here and show output. And here it says 9 high, um, 8 moderate. So what we got to do is I'm going to say copy. I think this copy doesn't actually work very good, but I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to add a new agent. And I'm going to say, check audit. Start agent. I'm going to put it in plan mode. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this. I'm going to say, um, I'm actually not going to paste. Let me see. Let me go back over here. Let me go back over here to the command. Let's see which one failed. It was the audit failed. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to copy it like this because I could, let's go back over here and see if the copy works over here. Let me copy, oh, actually, that's the command. Let me see if this copy works. Let me open up notes. New note. Pull that down here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it did copy. Okay, actually, copy is working. Okay, good. So I'll go ahead and close out of that. So then I'll come back over here to my agent that I started. So check, and I'll say audit is failing. Why? I'll do Control J in on a Mac in Codex gives you an extra space. And then I'm going to say enter, and I have it in plan mode, so it's going to go out there and read this. So I'm going to let this agent work right here. I'm going to come back over here to my commands. I'm going to go back up here to quality assurance, and we're going to see if anything else failed. Okay, so unit desktop failed also. So I'm going to say show output. And so it looks like we have one failing test. So you remember so used to you'd have to go and test the code over and over again. Now it just memorizes the test. You build the test with the code is what we're doing. So it's called test-driven development is the technical term. I'm going to come over here to agents. I'm going to create a new agent. I'm going to call this, let's see, which one failed? It was unit desktop. So I'll go over here and say new desktop unit failed. We use codex. YOLO means no allow anything to go, unlimited permissions. Start. I'm going to go ahead and hit tab, which puts it in plan mode. So you'll see plan show up right over here. Actually, shift tab, and you'll see it put in plan mode. I'll say unit test for desktop is failing. Why? And I usually just start with a question like that. I'm going to do enter. I'm going to do command paste. So I'll go ahead and say enter. And so now a new feature that we're releasing, do you see that both agents are working?
Mm-hmm.
Even on the next release, it will show over here agents working. So that way, if you're
Mm,
working on multiple repos, you don't have to click in there to see if they're still working. It
yeah.
will show you if they're still working.
So couldn't a new feature on your commands when one fails, like create a button or like do a button that says create agent to track down
Yes.
failing?
See, now you're a product owner. That's
Yeah,
exactly where I'm going. So
yeah,
eventually, what I want to do is, so it failed. Now, here's the beautiful thing. What if it just created the agent automatically? Like you said,
right, right.
enable automatic agent research.
Yeah,
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 but yes, there would be a button that I would put here that says send to agent. And
yeah,
then what I want to do is inside settings, give you a drop down that says, here's the agent I want you to use for this. Here's the
yeah,
model I want you to use. And actually, you led
yeah.
me into something else that I thought about talking to you about today, but let's go ahead and talk about it while we're on it. I'm going to bring down a new browser because I want to show you this ties into something. Now, here's the problem we're running into today. Um, let me come back over here and show you under my agent. Do you see right here, it says weekly left 76%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my problem is this is Codex, and yesterday I went through 24% of my weekly usage.
On
That's a
Monday.
problem. That's a problem. That means I'm going to be spending a lot of money, and
Mm,
or I'm going to have to slow down.
yeah.
So I don't really want to slow down. So here's what I did yesterday, and I want to share this with you today because it's very helpful. Remember this website, DEEPSWE dot datacurve.ai. All right. So here, I love this website. Deep Software Engineering is what it stands for. And it shows you the cost of models. And,
Mm.
and, and over here in the top right-hand corner is the most efficient and cheapest model. Then over here on the far side is the most expensive, but least efficient model.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so if you come over here, this is most expensive, smartest, and this right here is the score. So you want it as far to the top and as far to the right as possible. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, if we go over here, I'm going to get rid of some of these. So I like all of Claude's. I like all of GPT's. Let's go ahead and tell it to turn on all of Claude 5, all of GPT 5.6 Terra. I'm going to turn off Kimi. I like Kimi, but we're not using it on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to leave GPT 5.6 Luna. I'm going to turn off GPT 5.5 because we're not using it. I'm going to turn off Opus 4.8 because I'm not using it. Actually, you know what? I'll leave these on just for comparison. We'll leave Sonnet 5 on. I like Sonnet 5. I think you're using Sonnet 5. Um,
Hmm.
Grok 4.5 is pretty good. You have Grok 4.5 through open code. I'm going to turn off Muse. I'm going to turn off GPT 4.5.4. I'm going to turn off Gemini. GLM 5.2 is a good one. You got access to it. Gemini, I'm going to turn off this one. I'm going to turn off Kimi Code. I'm going to turn off Sonnet 4.6. I'll leave Gemini 3.1 Pro because that's their latest model from Google. Okay, so now do you see how this chart got a lot simpler?
Yeah.
Okay, so the smartest, most expensive model available is Claude Fable 5. And when you run it at max, it will burn some tokens. All right, now look at this. If you burn it at extra high, does the score change?
No.
No. It gets cheaper though, don't it?
Yeah. Hmm.
So there's no reason ever to use Claude Fable 5 max. No reason.
Hmm.
You might as well use extra high. Now, if we look, if I go to high, it gets even more cheaper, and I don't lose much score, do I?
Mm-mm.
So those are the things that help you. So yesterday, when I saw that I was burning through tokens, so let's switch back over here. I'm at 76% left. Now, what I was doing yesterday was I was using model and I was using GPT 5.6 Soul extra high. So what I was doing was I was using GPT 5 dash Soul, and then if I hit enter, I was using extra high. Now I switched to high. Why did I do that? Because of this website right here. So let's go, let me get rid of anything that's not GPT 5.6 Soul. So that way we can look at just the model that I want to work with. And get rid of Gemini. Okay. So now let's look at it. If I use max and then I use extra high, is there any difference between the score? It's like 73
Yeah.
and
Slight.
71. Like that's
Yeah.
an error. That's within the, if we use statistics, that's probably within the margin of
Right.
error. So
Yeah.
why would I ever use max for that 2%? I probably wouldn't. It costs me
Yeah.
$8.39 per whatever they have per
Yeah.
thousand, something like that. Um, so
Well,
here,
even if
so
you
I
go to
would
the
def,
next one,
so I
what's the
actually
next one
switched.
cost?
Yeah, did you see?
Yeah.
347. So it went from 470 to 347. It dropped about, what is that? About 20, 30%, 25% right in there. So by
Uh-huh.
switching from extra high to high,
Yeah.
I saved about 25%.
Right.
Now, if I go down to medium, that's getting uh,
Yeah.
a little bit, I'm starting to lose some smartness. And I don't
Right.
know if I want to go to medium, but I will go to
Yeah.
high. Now, also, what we can do is we can throw in another model in here. Let's go to Terra, which is GPT's second smartest. Now, look right here. So, max on uh,
Terra.
Terra is more expensive and not as smart as high. Um, it's high on Terra is cheaper than max on Sol. So I could switch to
That's high on soul.
Oh, I'm sorry, high on, let's see, that is high on Sol. So high on Sol is cheaper than max on Terra, so you would go with high on
Yeah.
Sol. All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you see how these two are neck and neck?
Right.
I would still err on the side of Sol because Sol's the smarter model. But now, if we
Yeah.
start getting down to this one, I would pick high on Terra before I picked low on Sol.
Right. Right.
So this is just what I'm showing you because now it's starting in this area right here. We're starting to get down to judgment calls.
Yeah.
And now you can also look at output of tokens. You can see that Sol, let's see, Sol puts out more tokens. I'm not sure. This is where, and then, okay, agent steps. Agent steps, this is where you get into the agent is running over and over again. It's having to go and do multiple things. You want the
Mm-hmm.
least amount of steps. So this is very important. Max on Terra has way too many steps compared to median high on Sol. So for the money, high does it faster as far as steps. The less steps you have, I'm not sure. I don't want to say something, but I think that the less steps, the less chance of error. Uh,
Yeah.
so anyway, I just wanted to show you this because you have a math degree, and
Mm-hmm.
this will help you as you think. So yesterday I told you to use Sol. So let's go ahead and add
Mm-hmm.
Sol here because Sone, I'm sorry, Sone or Sonet. Um, so let's look at it. So Sonet is really good at max. I mean, not good at max, but really expensive.
Yeah.
So I told you to use Sol. I'm not sure what version we had you set to, but you may want to switch and start using GPT 5.6.
Yeah.
Or you may want to switch. Let's add Opus. Opus 4.8 is a very good model. I like Opus 4.8. Opus 4.8 is smarter than Sone and cheaper. So let's take Sone 5 off the board. So I would not use Sone 5. I would use Claude Opus first. All right. So do you see how we're just competing against each other? Now
Mm-hmm.
the next one is let's look at Opus 5. So here's Opus 5. Okay, so here's Opus 5. Okay, Opus 5 definitely beats 4.8 as far as intelligence, and it's kind of better on price. So we're going to get rid of Opus 4.8. Now we're looking at, do you see how they're kind of neck and neck?
Yeah.
So this is where you could use Opus, you could use GPT high, I would say GPT high Soul or Opus 5 medium. It's probably
Mm-hmm.
your best two right there because they're kind of clumped together. You could
Yeah.
also use Max. See, is that Max
Terra.
Soul? Or that's Max Terra. Max
That's
Terra.
Terra.
Yeah. I'd probably take Terra off the board for right now just to kind of simplify.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like those are, but, and so whenever you hear the term frontier models, this is what they're talking about. And,
Mm-hmm.
and how I know, so let's look at this. I'm going to select all of these. Can you select all? Yeah. Okay. So the frontier models are the GPT and Claude are your frontiers. And that's why they're called the frontiers because they're out in front of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so down here is Gemini. Gemini is definitely not a frontier model. Google is way behind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see if there's any. Kimi is staying in there. This is Kimi 2.7. If we could find Grok is really in there. Grok is staying in the pack. Um, Muse Spark 1.1 is in the pack. Quinn 3.85. These are open source models, so you're starting to see some
Mm-hmm.
of these start becoming frontier. Gemini
Yeah.
3.6 Flash is a good one. Um, Gemini 4 is the one I'm going to be excited about. I'm waiting on Gemini 4. So anyway, this website is deepswe.datacurve.ai. This is the best source for this. Well, cool. I guess we've been going a lot further than my 30-minute plan today. We'll go ahead and stop the recording right here because I
Okay.
think. Did you have any questions before we stop the recording?
No, I figured offline we can figure out the Termius, the problem I was having yesterday with the
Yes, that you were having
Termius and the
yesterday. Yeah,
models.
let's go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this video up right now. I'll go ahead and turn it off.
Sounds good.